Shalom, dear friends of Tikkun Global. I want to share a few thoughts today from Scripture, as well as some foundations of Tikkun Global, and to put these two things together, the war that we are processing through, as well as to speak about our foundational understanding of the last days. Many people, when they speak about the last days, speak about being able to figure out the details of invasions and nations and the order in which events will take place in great specificity. It's really not my orientation. Of course, I think about those things and speculate about them. But Tikkun is based upon what I call 5 major tasks of the last days, which our friend Oscar Skarsenet in Oslo, Norway, called the pillars. Others, like I said, call them the tasks. And they are that before the Lord comes back, we are going to see the unity of the church worldwide and in every major city. We're going to see world revival. And we see these two things connected. We can't tell which comes first, or if they come together or they progress together, one and then the other. But Yeshua prayed that we might be one, that the world might believe that the Father sent him. And we have found again and again that that kind of oneness takes place when there is revival. But we also found that people coming into unity pray for revival, and that's when revival takes place. So Acts 2 looks forward toward a great world revival, and that is connected to the fulfillment of the prayer of Yeshua, that we might be one, that the world might believe. So therefore, John is looking forward to world redemption, that particular text. And then we see out of the unity of the church and revival that the church is going to be able to complete the Great Commission. For Yeshua said that the gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world. Every nation will have an adequate witness, every ethnos, and then the end will come. But also, this is connected to the gospel going forth to the nations, which will then make Israel jealous, so that when Israel is adequately made jealous and they call upon the name of Yeshua, he will return. So what we need to see is the unity of the church, world revival. The two come together. This will enable the church to complete the work of world evangelism, and then this will lead to making Israel jealous. And when Israel calls upon the name of the Lord in its time of deep distress, because things will be very difficult at the time that they do that, Israel will have had adequate witness to call upon the name of the Lord, and then we will see his return, we'll see the salvation of Israel, we'll see world redemption. But there's a 5th task, and that is we need to see a leadership worldwide grow up that's pursuing all of these things. And we're living in a time, I've never seen a time like this, where we're closer to the fulfillment of the prayer of Yeshua and world revival than ever before. For example, I can pick many cities, but I will pick the city of Singapore, where one of our good friends and partners, Yang Tuk, has reopened the Welsh Bible School in Wales that I've spoken about in other videos, and he has unified and is leading the whole Pentecostal charismatic church movement all together in Singapore. We see in the World Evangelical Alliance, the leaders are pursuing John 17 unity worldwide as they represent 600 million believers. It's never happened to this extent before. And we were so privileged to meet with many of those leaders in the World Evangelical Alliance a year ago. But we have to understand that there's got to be a leadership raised up in the last days that pursues this unity, because Ephesians chapter 4 says that God will raise up apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers until we all come to the unity of faith. They're going to equip us until we have this unity. So Ephesians 4 is connected to John 17. So we are not into as much speculation as some when they talk about the last days, but are after a commitment to these broad goals. On the other hand, we do know that there is coming a time of great distress in Israel. And I want to read Psalm 83 for you, because many have asked us if this is the time that Psalm 83 is taking place. We read, "O God, do not keep silent. Do not hold your peace, O God. Do not be still, for your enemies make an uproar. Those who hate you lift up their head. They make a shrewd plot against your people. Conspiring against your treasured ones, come, they say, let us wipe them out as a nation. Let Israel's name be remembered no more. For with one mind they plot together. Against you do they make a covenant. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab, the Haggites, the Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia, and the inhabitants of Tyre, that's up in Lebanon. Even Assyria has joined them, becoming a strong arm for Lot's sons. Do to them as you did to Midian, to Sisera and Jabin at the Kishon River, who perished at Endor. They became as dung for the ground. I'm going to skip a little bit. They said, let us take possession of the pasture lands of God. My God, make them like tumbleweed, like chaff before the wind. Pursue them with your tempest and terrify them with your storm. Let them be humiliated. Let them know that you alone, whose name is Adonai, are the Lord Most High, El Elyon, over all the earth. Psalm 83 is a great psalm to pray when people who are inspired by the devil seek to destroy Israel. Is this a specific prophecy of this specific war that we have just are coming through? I don't believe we should use it that way. On the other hand, we recognize as those that seek to have the spirit of discernment of Issachar that this war is a birth pang that is a foreshadowing of the final last invasions where Israel will be delivered and see Yeshua. But this is not it. And we're praying to hold back the forces of evil until we can see in Israel a much greater harvest, because before all Israel is saved, we believe there's going to be a much greater Messianic Jewish movement in Israel, many more congregations, many more people saved, and that there will be a movement of Jewish believers in Israel that will duplicate what it was like in the book of Acts, when there were myriads that believed, and there were signs and wonders, and there were miracles and healings and deliverances, and that we are going to see a supernatural move of God and a great harvest in Israel, and that those from that great harvest will partner with those from the church worldwide to make Israel jealous. And only when things are prepared will God release the final battles. So we are praying to hold back and to see a great revival in Israel, and then we will see the ultimate deliverance and the return of the Lord. So we seek to send out information to you for your prayer, for your support, so that we can be partners in this vision together.